Hey, what's up? This is the officially unofficial geek channel. My name is Carrie Quinn. This is the first video of the new writing vlog. Author vlog, writing vlog. Either way works for me. And it should work for you, because why not? Right? So, I just got done filming something I'm not even sure I'm going to put up. Explaining in detail why I have not been doing very much lately. Involving a little bit of a crisis of faith, feeling, everything going to shit. um, but now I'm coming out of it, and we're gonna start anew. Not necessarily anew. We're still working on the same project as we were before. We are still working on the novel in progress. And last week, because of my crisis that I was experiencing, because of other things happening, um, I did not write very much at all. Yeah. Um, I won't tell you. I wrote a little bit. I did. I really did. And that was hard to do. Um, so I did a few things today to try to get back into the swing of writing. So today is April 8th, 2024. It is the evening. I saw the eclipse today. I went ahead and watched that, even though I wasn't feeling the best, but I'm feeling better now. That was really cool. Like, so I live in Indianapolis, so I live in the path of total. I lived in the path of the totality, right? So that was pretty cool. No 90% for me or lower. I had 100% totality. It was really cool because, like, if you were in the path of totality, like, you had all these glasses, right? If I'm understanding correctly, like, the glasses, they were to be worn um in the where the sun or the moon is starting to go over the sun, or starting to leave it to watch. So, the like like if this is the sun, right? So if the moon is going like this, like, so it's not completely covering it up, right? When you get to here, where it's like completely covering up, but there's just like this ring of sun up into to this point, right? You're supposed to wear those like protective glasses. But if you were in the path of totality, once it got to the point where it was completely, you know, here, right? And then you could just see the ring. You could take the glasses off and just look um, for like a few minutes at the eclipse directly. Because here's the thing, like, the glasses um, are a type of like film that only lets a certain level of UV through, and once it hits the totality, that level of UV is like not there anymore. So if you are in the path of totality, once that happens, even if you wear the glasses and you look up, it's not going to be very easy to see what's going on. Um, so that was really cool to be able to be in a place where you saw like the moon and like this like bright ring around it. It was really pretty. So that's that's something that happened today. Um, and supposedly it's not going to happen in this area for not like a shit ton of years, but like A long time. Not a shit ton. Not a shit ton. We're not talking like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. No. I forget exactly how long, but it's a long time. When you think right into it, like if you're thinking on one level, it's not really that long, and it's one of those kind of things where you're thinking on like one level, it's not that long. But if you're thinking like another way, it is kind of long. That kind of thing. So I'm going to write, and I need to get back into this and writing every day. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I'm going to start talking to you guys. Hey, it is 4/9. So April 9th. It is April 9th, 7:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is, well, I put that date wrong in there. Ooh, that was, nope, gotta put that correctly where it needs to be corrected. Okay, welcome to the next day in my vlog. If you're just watching this, and basically the video just continued. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Yeah. So what's going on, guys? This is April 9th, 2024. Like I said, it's now 7:44 p.m. 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 Oh, yeah. Am I hyper? Am I like in mental zoomy mode? Like a cat, like zooming around? Okay, check it. So yesterday, I went to writing and I wrote 1,765 words. Rock on. Um, let's see if there's anything I really want to share with you because that'd be kind of cool. That'd be cool if I shared like a little snippet of what I wrote yesterday. Let's see here. Can I do that? I'm looking. No, I really can't. There's what I wrote was involved a lot of dialogue. And okay, all right. I think I might have found some. Hold on a second. Um, the date of the section that I wrote was December 31st, 1999. It's obviously a New Year's thing. The Now, bear in mind, as always, whenever I read anything like this, it is a how do I want to put this? It is a rough draft. I might stumble around things, and this might not actually be in the finished product. But let's see here. The decorations made the shop look like a glitter disco ball to Catherine as she stood up from her seat in the booth. She came into the shop when Mark, Marlene, and Eric unlocked to set up for the special New Year's celebration they had planned for the regulars that didn't have anything else planned that evening. That already sounds rough. There was going to be the usual items on the menu, but added to that was the complimentary sparkling apple cider and party favors designed to be uh, mostly throwaway items people like Catherine would find reasons to keep for the sake of being from that evening. Some things like some things that were like paper crowns from crackers, looking like oversized pieces of candy stuffed otherwise with confetti, a joke on paper, your lucky numbers for the upcoming year, and some other plastic treasure that was probably a pencil eraser. Let's jump ahead. She was talking. There's a point where you're talking about the decorations. Um, she stands up and she's like kind of thinking about the decorations and looking from this perspective in the light of day. It all looked like Mark and Marlene were reimagining their individual proms from the early 1980s. There are so many streamers and silver tinsel left over from the Christmas holiday to make everything look colorful and holographic at the same time. It was all like a kaleidoscope Catherine used to have when she was a little girl, that she would spin a dial and shift all the shapes in whatever abstract way she could just by directing the dial which way she wished. If she had gotten if she got tired of one view, all she had to do was change the location of her perspective view, and it would was a whole new world, new glittery intention from every corner. Like I said, it's kind of rough. Um, a lot of my writing in this has been kind of like jumping around, and like I decided I wanted to go like jump a couple dates that I had outlined already in the text to jump to this date, just to kind of be like, okay, I want to possibly have something fun, um, that's more like bombastic to write. And there's definitely some stuff that comes up later on in what I wrote yesterday, and those, just over 1,700 words. um, there's there's a little bit of an interaction between two main characters, my two main characters. And there's also like a portion that I already wrote that's kind of like a little bit ahead of what I finished yesterday. Um, that I had to kind of fill in between like what I started yesterday and what I wrote like I gotta say like it's a paragraph of dialogue that just came to me like about 2 weeks ago, right? And I just kind of stuck it in there and I was like, okay, we're gonna build the whole entire chapter around this little piece of dialogue. And big gulp. Um and I haven't gotten to that piece of dialogue yet that I wrote a couple weeks ago. And it's coming. And I think I'm gonna get to it tonight. If at all possible, I'm gonna try really hard to get to it tonight. The thing is like I had kind of talked about before. I don't know if it actually made it into a vlog, but like I've been sitting here like when I did this whole process of going through and like kind of mapping out the rest of the book, kind of. I know that there's going to be stuff and it's trying to combat the idea that I know that there is going to be stuff, and it could very well be this stuff that gets just completely axed from the book. Because right now this is including small notes, like a few lines of notes in anything that has not been written yet, but is mapped out. Like, so including just like a few lines of notes for each of those days. I have almost 70,000 words. Yeah, it is literally 1,000 words off from 70,000 words. And that's approximately where I wanted to have for the length of the book. I absolutely positively do not, under any circumstances, want this thing to be over 80 to 85,000. This thing is really, I think, and I'm hoping, gonna flourish in rewrites and edits because I know. This is one of these things I know. I know. Some shit is going to get canned out of there. Done. Nothing I can do about that. There's going to be whole aspects probably of this entire thing that get shifted and removed just because it doesn't serve the entirety of what I'm trying to do here enough to remain. Um, I and the thing that I'm worried about here, I got an itch on my foot. The main thing I'm worried about is writing, taking the time to write all this and knowing that some of it is going to be gone eventually. Do I want to sit here and I want to rethink the plan and not waste time writing it? Because there's a possibility that I could write something that's a part of this plan and it could be good shit, you know? It could be something that I like. And if I just stop, then I could be missing something. I can always add it later. But it's that question, like, do I write the absolute minimum of this or do I write it all? Okay, so like, do I write the absolute minimum here to tell the story and then add to it later if I need to? Or do I write everything and take it away? Is it easier to add or is it easier to take away? Because there's probably going to be stuff that needs to be added, like a little seasoning and flair here and there that are going to have to be added. And I know that. So I'm looking at this and it's like the stuff that needs to be written still. Man. And there's certain things that it just needs to stay. Um I don't know. Because the thing is like part of me thinks like that there's part of this that I'm writing now that's gonna go bye-bye, but then there's part of me that's like no, because it builds up momentum for everything. It gives reason, like it gives part of the reason for everything going on in different parts of the story. And Maybe this is just a long ass book. Because right now this thing is longer than The Great Gatsby, at least. Great Gatsby is 47,097 words, I believe. I'm starting to get impatient with myself as well. Like, I'm definitely not patient with myself at all. I'm going to go balls to the wall on this thing, I think, for the next couple weeks. We're going to see where we are after the next couple weeks. And then decide if we're going to continue writing on this thing. There's certain things that need. I can't even do that. I can't even put that freaking ultimatum on myself because there are certain things that need to be written to make certain parts of this make sense. And no, I am not doing 2 books on this idea. Oh no, believe me, people have asked me that in my personal life. People have asked me, is it possible that you're doing a duology right now? And I'm like, no. It is most definitely not a duology. It is one book and it is one thing, and it is not, for crying out loud, going to be so long that people don't want to read it. But also not going to be so short that it doesn't tell the right story I want to tell. So, how about maybe I just stop putting limits on myself? Maybe that's the answer. I had Little Caesars pizza tonight, and if you have had Little Caesars pizza tonight and you hear me like trying to fight back belching into the microphone, yeah, that's exactly what you're hearing. You are hearing me fighting back a belch directly into the microphone. Wee-hoo! Was I even grabbing the mic? Yeah, I was. You were hearing me fight a belch from my Little Caesars extra most bestest cheese pizza in the microphone. Yep. Excuse me. This is the big gulp I picked up. It has this much left. I also have some water here. I'm definitely ready to go. Like, I can do this. In my big gulp container, though, is Speedway. With Speedway, I wanted a Slurpee because I don't know if all the Speedways are like this, but Speedway has something like a merger or something like that going with 7-Eleven. So instead of having like ices, they have actual Slurpee machines now. And I wanted a Slurpee, but the particular one that we went to usually has shit for the goddamn Slurpees. Like, seriously, they don't have the right cups. You either have to get like really small or you have to get really freaking huge. That does not fit in your cup, usual cup holder in your car, okay? Or you and here's the thing. It had supposedly one flavor ready, but let me tell you something. That flavor was not ready. It did not go into my cup like Slurpee Slurpee does. Okay? It went into my cup like regular iced tea does. And that's not what I was there for. I was there for a Slurpee. Okay? Slurpee. That's what I wanted. So I did not get a Slurpee because their Slurpee was not Slurpeeing. And I know some of you might be asking, Carrie, how do you know a Slurpee is Slurpeeing? Ing. And the answer is you just know. Uh-huh. So there we go. You know what? There it is. There it is. I'm going to know when the book is done because I'll just know. Like with a Slurpee. When the Slurpee is Slurpeeing, you know. We're going to have to go to a different speedway because it's never Slurpeeing. Or it's like one flavor. And I like to mix my flavors, okay? Tell me, do you like to mix your Slurpee flavors? I like to do a layering situation here. That's what I like to do, but I was willing to do just the one. But now, okay, so this is a special like Sprite strawberry lemonade type thing going on. Very nice. It was a lovely alternative. But let's get going. I gotta write. I'm gonna write until it's done. And we'll go from there. I might change my mind between now and then. You guys will be the first to know. Maybe not the first to know, but you guys be at least second to know. First to know might be my boyfriend because, well, I talk to him about everything. But you guys will definitely be second. Well, nothing to it but to do it. I'll let you guys know tomorrow how much I do it. Last night was a really good night. Doing the writing thing. It started out a little bit rocky. Like I was like, okay, am I gonna get to the end of what I wanted to do? And I did. So like yesterday I talked about like the whole process between something I'd written like a couple weeks ago and then everything that I've written for that part, like to lead up to that. And that in between section was what I was working on yesterday. So I went in and I started writing and I was writing, and then I was like, oh gosh, am I not gonna get this today? And I hadn't actually written too many words at that point. We're gonna talk like not a lot. It was under 1,000, right? And it felt like it was just dragging. And I was like, okay, so how do I pick up the momentum, but also um, fulfill this kind of idea that I have going on here of where we're going to end up? So what happened was I I knew that the somebody that I know online was going to be doing a live stream. They do it weekly, and it's comic book based. And so I went and I hung out on that, and it's just the stream is kind of like you he starts it out, and it's either we're going to talk about the final order cutoff for that week for comics, or we're just going to talk about whatever, just hang. And the the concept, if you like comic books, his name is Circumstances. Um, I will try to remember to put a link to the show I was on yesterday in the description of this video. I'm gonna try to remember. I'll make a note of that. In fact, I'll do it right now while I'm on camera. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna make a note of it on this little receipt from the library. Add Marcus link for show on Tuesday for 9 to vlog descript. It's right there. Now, it's right over here, and hopefully my horrible handwriting. Hopefully I see it. Hopefully I see it. So yeah, it's right there. Um, I'll put I'll put a link in for the specific one I was on last night. Um, so I was on that for a good while, and it's good conversation. It's always if I'm able to catch it, if I'm around and I'm able to catch it, I'm not knee deep in something else. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Good people, and um, yeah. So I get off of that and I start writing again because I'm like, okay, can I do this? Can I finish this little part? And spoiler alert, I did. So I got to the point where that little bit that I wrote a couple weeks ago happens. That got that got kind of altered just a little bit to fit kind of a concept and imagery and that kind of thing. Transitions and everything put in. Um, and I went past that. Um, so the total, like when I started, when I jumped into Marcus's show, I was under 1,000 words. I get out of there, and it's like it's really fun. You get to go hang out with people, and I think the concept is like if I'm feeling in a rut, I need to go find people, um, and like just kind of sit there and just talk, talk about random stuff that I like, and it gets me into a better mindset. It gets me um, to the point where I can do 2012 words in one in one day. So thanks to the guys over there at Circumstances YouTube page here because yeah, you got me into it. You got me to move forward, and I got 2012 words. Now, can I share any of that with you? Let's take a look. Um, I think it might give a little bit too much away from everything. There's a lot of dialogue in this. It's basically, it ends up being a lot of two people, my two major characters, standing outside of a building on New Year's Eve, um, being very, very confused with each other. Um, and the confusion paired with the obvious emotions that are running around there between the two of them was the the catalyst to do this whole thing. And um, let's see here. Okay, you know what? I think I can share the end of it without giving away too much. And like I said, just note that this is this is rough. This is a rough draft, but okay. Um, you and all that means is this may or may not end up in the final piece of literature when it's all over with. But here we go. With the conclusion of that, she walked back in the door and ducked into the bathroom to fix her makeup. She reapplied her lipstick, blotted her eyes, and found that if a lot of things were going to hell, at least her eye makeup was holding up just fine. She was relieved to find that when she exited the bathroom, Eric had rejoined Amber with what she believed to be a fake smile on his face. When she started to think about what had just happened outside, she looked away with tears staining her eyes. Approaching Walt, he looked at her and asked, "Is everything okay?" "Yep, I'm good. It's almost midnight. I always get a little emotional about the end of things." There you go. That's the end. That's the very end of that chapter that I wrote last night. Yep, I'm good. It's almost midnight. I always get a little emotional about the end of things. Um, Without context, that doesn't make much sense, but like with the rest of it, um, it could be a little bit more complex, a lot more, a lot more meaning um, as time goes by in the book. Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and it is 8:20 on April 10th. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take just about 20 minutes, probably throw some words on the paper, things that I already have in my head. Um, and I'm feeling pretty good right now, and let's do this. Nothing to it but to do it. So let's do this. So let's see here. So yeah, hey, this is the ending video for the vlog for last week. Didn't film um, on the last few days of the vlog. Uh, it is technically 8:14 on April 15th. Yeah, uh, don't know how much I'm going to get done today because I do have to file some tax stuff, but um, so like I'm moved, right? So like I don't know really how to go about that, and I really probably should have figured that out. So I'm going to file an extension. So I'll be doing that hopefully very quickly after I start posting this video before my work day begins, so that I don't have to do it later. So if I don't have to do it later, then it's not going to impede on my writing, but then I really do have to probably figure that out. I'm not going to wait until the last minute of the extension to get that done. So, anyways, back to the writing. I ended just over what I had originally like put as a goal over the last few months to myself. Um, that overall goal being per week 62, or excuse me, 6,250 words. And I ended the week at 6,308. There's some stuff that I'm writing right now that's a part of the story that I'm really not going to share with you guys. I don't want to give any of it away. Um, so the little bits that I was working on are um, a sensitive part of the story that um, I want to keep to myself until I give it to readers. So not going to share any of that with you. Um, it's National Poetry Month, and I've been writing. Not just I when I started this project, I had, and after I had finished Woke Bitch, the most recent poetry book that I put out, I had said that I was going to focus mostly on my prose type stories, and I really wasn't planning on writing poetry. Well, then I found a poetry community here in Indianapolis, and you know decided, hey, let's write some more poetry. Um, that's how that usually works out, right? So let me go ahead and since I'm not telling you anything that I wrote recently for the book, I can share something else, possibly. Not that one. Not that one. This is the wrong. Sometimes my writing is done in notebooks, and sometimes it's just done on my phone or on the computer. Um, but where did you go? So, this was written the other day. Um, and I figure maybe since I can't share anything else that I've written in the book because of its nature, I can give you a little something here to end out the week. Um, my new writing will be talked about that I do today will be talked about in next week's video. So this is going to end the video for this week, and so let's just do this. This is called Sometimes the Villain. Some days I'm the hero. Some days I'm the villain. At times I'm crashing in with sword to save you. Other times I'm only out to save myself. And I guess that might make me seem ruinous to you, because at times I'm not saving you, if saving you means I can't breathe when I'm done. Sometimes my hands are tied and I can only have moments to shimmy my way out. Sometimes the hero's choice is impossible, so I save myself so I can walk away from the crumbling infrastructure, making the whole building fall down and go boom. Like Humpty Dumpty fell off his wall, reaching for your hand. Now the yoke's unrecognizable in the wreck, but my eyeliner is still unsnagged. That might make me the villain of your story, saving myself first. Um, so yeah, that was Sometimes the Villain. Wrote that last week. I hope you liked it. That gets to be the parting way there. About the idea of taking time for yourself. Um, Self care is the best care, and allowing yourself to do that, even if it makes you seem like somebody doesn't like you that way. Sometimes people don't like it when you take time for yourself. Um, I don't really have that problem, but I was seeing that some other people were having that problem. So that kind of inspired me to write that. So sometimes the villain. So yeah, but that's it. That's the ending video for the vlog. Thank you for joining me this week, and I will see you next week with more funky blog, writing, action here. No, I haven't. Sorry. I have to do my sign off because it's more important than ever nowadays. Keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something, say something. And remember, the complacent never make a difference. So go out there and make a difference. Until next time, I'll be seeing ya. Bye.